You'll never outsmart an INFJ, here's why. INFJs may be quiet, reserved, and even appear lost in their own world. But behind that calm demeanor is a deeply analytical, hyper-intuitive mind that sees layers where others see surfaces. Outsmarting an INFJ? It might sound easy, until you realize you're playing chess with someone who built the board before you even knew the game existed. This video is for INFJs who have been underestimated, manipulated, or misunderstood, and who are finally ready to understand the true power they carry within. Today, we're diving deep into the powerful reasons why INFJs are nearly impossible to outsmart. And no, this isn't about arrogance. It's about awakening to your unique mental structure, emotional depth, and foresight that most people will never comprehend. So if you're an INFJ, this one's for you. Let's dive in. 1. Their pattern recognition is almost psychic. INFJs don't just observe behavior, they decode the language beneath it. While others might catch a lie and move on, INFJs unravel the entire web behind it. If someone lies to them once, they don't just register the falsehood, they begin tracing patterns. The hesitation before the words were spoken. The flicker in the eyes. The sudden shift in vocal tone. The timeline of inconsistencies. The emotional dissonance between what's being said and what's truly felt. They don't just hear the lie, they feel the story that led to it. It's like watching someone fumble with a mask they thought was invisible. And the INFJ, silently, sees right through. Even when someone is expertly performing, saying the right things, wearing the right smile, keeping their posture calm, INFJs pick up on the energetic static underneath it all. That subtle discomfort. That buried resentment. That intention cloaked in politeness. To others, the interaction seems smooth. To an INFJ, it's full of silent chaos. Take an INFJ in a professional environment. On the surface, they might appear detached from workplace politics, maybe even a little naive. But beneath that quiet exterior, they've already constructed a psychological blueprint of the entire ecosystem. They've mapped out who is genuinely competent and who just plays the part. Who's subtly sabotaging others behind closed doors. Who's driven by insecurity. Who's gunning for the top. They recognize the ones who gossip under the guise of concern, and the ones who flatter only to manipulate. They see the power plays before they unfold, the betrayals before they happen, the shifting loyalties months before anyone else senses the change. But here's the twist, INFJs often suppress this gift. Not because they don't trust it, but because the world doesn't trust them. From a young age, they're told they're overthinking, that they read too much into things. When they confront someone with their observations, they're met with discomfort or dismissal. That's not what I meant. You're imagining it. You're too sensitive. These words cut deep. They teach the INFJ that truth can be threatening, and that their intuition, as sharp and accurate as it may be, must be softened, hidden, or altogether silenced. So they adapt. They learn to play dumb. To smile and nod even when they see the manipulation. To keep their insights to themselves. To pretend they don't notice when someone's words don't match their energy. But internally, they're cataloging everything, not out of malice, but out of a need to stay safe in a world that often punishes emotional depth. The shocking part? When they finally stop pretending. When an INFJ stops playing dumb and begins owning their intuitive intelligence, the entire dynamic shifts. People start to feel exposed without knowing why. Manipulators lose their grip. Passive-aggressive games fall flat. The INFJ no longer participates in illusions, they start speaking truth in ways that are piercingly accurate and impossible to refute. And that's when the real power of the INFJ comes to light, not as someone who's just quietly smart, but as a seer of patterns, a quiet strategist, and a mirror reflecting the unspoken realities others would rather avoid. 2. They understand people better than people understand themselves. The INFJ's cognitive functions, introverted intuition, NI, and extroverted feeling, FE, allow them to tap into the emotional landscapes of others. They don't just listen to what you say. They hear what you really mean. An INFJ friend might notice a loved one is spiraling into burnout even before they do. They see the small drops in energy, the fake smiles, the shift in language. INFJs often carry emotional burdens that aren't theirs, simply because they care deeply and can't unfeel what others are suppressing. 3. Their strategic thinking is long-term and subtle. While others react, INFJs strategize. They aren't impulsive thinkers. They play the long game, quietly collecting data, understanding dynamics, and waiting for the right time to act. An INFJ may endure a toxic job environment not out of weakness, but because they're already planning their exit, gathering evidence, building their next opportunity in silence. This makes INFJs appear passive on the surface. But their stillness is often the eye of the storm, not a lack of power. 4. They anticipate motives, not just actions. Others look at what people do. INFJs look at why they do it. They track emotional currents, underlying wounds, and unconscious drives. They often know what someone will do before that person consciously makes the decision. An INFJ might withdraw from a seemingly kind new friend, sensing narcissistic tendencies long before they manifest in manipulation. This can lead to loneliness. INFJs pull away to protect themselves, but others label them cold or distant. 5. Their emotional intelligence is razor sharp. INFJs are emotionally fluent. They know when someone's pretending to be okay, when sarcasm hides pain, and when smiles are just masks. Their EQ is so refined that they can feel emotional storms before the first raindrop falls. At a gathering, while everyone enjoys the surface chatter, the INFJ notices someone's subtle discomfort. Later, they're the only one who checks in, and it means the world. INFJs often become the emotional safe place for others, but have few who can hold that space for them. 6. Their ability to disarm manipulators. Manipulators thrive on ego, reaction, and attention. INFJs, who observe rather than react, strip them of their power. INFJs see the games being played and opt out of the script. When gaslit, the INFJ doesn't argue. They quietly begin to distance themselves. And by the time the manipulator realizes they've lost control, it's too late. Many INFJs have survived emotionally abusive relationships or friendships. Their quiet exit isn't weakness, it's a power move. INFJ, you don't need to win arguments. Your silent awareness dismantles lies more powerfully than words ever could. 7. They hide their intelligence intentionally. Yes, INFJs often pretend not to know as much as they do. It's a survival tactic. They've learned that showing their full intelligence can intimidate others, trigger envy, or make them a target. An INFJ in a meeting may stay quiet, even when they see the flaws in a proposal. They choose their battles, letting others feel heard first. This selective silence can feel like self-betrayal, but it's also wisdom. INFJs know when to reveal their mind, and when to keep it hidden. INFJ, you were never meant to be loud. You were meant to be effective. Your mind is a vault of foresight, emotional precision, and strategic brilliance. You don't need to outsmart others, because you already see 10 moves ahead. Stop doubting what you know. Stop shrinking your insight to make others comfortable. And stop letting people mistake your silence for weakness. If this spoke to your soul, don't forget to like, comment, and share this with another INFJ who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more deep, raw, and real content made only for INFJs. Your mind is a sanctuary. Guard it. Honor it. Lead with it. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.